And welcome back to Daily Wrap. Let's read some of your viewer comments. First up, we have a comment from R. Sharp, who says, I agree with Kim Davis. This, of course, was that whole situation around a clerk in Kentucky refusing a gay couple from getting married. So that's what we're talking about here. Why does she have to violate her own religious beliefs is the question. That is stupid and unconstitutional. Rick?
And Lee says, what does God think? In Book of Acts, the apostles were put in jail, beaten, and when released, they were commanded not to teach anymore in the name of Jesus. Their response was, it is better to obey God than man. Knowing gay marriage is an abomination in the eyes of God, Kim Davis has an obligation to refuse to marry gays.
Wow, big topic. Janine says the clerk who didn't want to issue marriage license to a gay couple was totally within her rights as far as I'm concerned. When she was elected to do her job, that was not a law. Today, she probably wouldn't run for that job knowing she would have to do that. I also think the fact that there were those who wish to have a discussion about it is a great idea, but it will never happen. That comes from Heather Hansen.
Linda says she needs to do her job and give the gay couple the license to marry. It's her job, and God can only be the one to judge the morality.
Okay, and Will says Kim Davis, staying within theme, the county clerk from Kentucky refused to issue marriage licenses due to religious beliefs, has been married 4 times. Davis has been to court, and conservative federal judge Bunning, has ruled that she must issue the licenses. The day after the ruling, Davis again refused to issue the licenses. When Davis was elected, she took an oath to uphold the law. She is now breaking the law. How can she claim the freedom of religion defense when she has been divorced 3 times and married 4 times? Getting personal.
Pretty interesting. Nancy says the Kentucky County Clerk should not have to sell same-sex couples marriage licenses, as she is an elected official and she was sworn into office with her hand on the Bible. Therefore, she must follow God's law first and foremost.
Interesting. Bill? Can we just jump to you real quick?
Yes,
You're shaking your head violently.
No, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. There is a difference between what is the law and what is God's law. The woman was elected to an office. She swore to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. She can object as much as she wants to. That's fine. She can tell her church not to marry gay people, but she's an officer of the court.
Thank you.
Issue the damn license.
Get Hanson on the phone. Let's get her on the phone or to disagree with Mr. Tucker, but very definitive there.
There's
Thank
more
you.
coming on this, but good for you.
Eddie says, I am proud, gay conservative, and the clerk in Kentucky has every right to deny anyone a marriage license who conflicts with her religious beliefs. The 5 justices rewrote the definition of marriage, and they had no right to do what they did. No right.
And Roger says, I personally don't give a damn what Rick Unger thinks, neither does my wife, if he has that ability. Ah, got it. However, I do believe strongly in the Bill of Rights. The First Amendment specifically states that Congress can pass no law impeding the free exercise of religion. In that vein, I don't believe the Supreme Court can override the Constitution, although the Dems think that they can. There's so much wrong with that, but go ahead, read this and then I'll get to it.
Bill says, ignorance shows itself when you open your mouth. Sheriff Joe, that's Arpaio, not Aprio, is not a media hound. He just has been elected to enforce the law. You can't understand what is happening out here reading it off your laptop. Stop hiring and giving freebies to them, and they will self-deport. God bless Sheriff Joe.
And Alexander says you are dead wrong about Sheriff Joe's motives. He was the only one to stand up and stop Obama in his tracks.
And James says, unless the state has officially made it a law for clerks to issue marriage licenses, back to that topic, retroactive back to before the clerk became a clerk, a judge cannot order a clerk to do it. The Supreme Court ruling was an opinion only and not a law. Now the clerk should have time to appeal the judge's ruling.
All right, now we've read a lot of those. I want to read everybody something because I want you to understand where I come from on this issue in Kentucky. I want to first point out any of you who have had a problem with President Obama swearing an oath and then breaking the law, as so many of you believe he has, on executive orders and other things. And by the way, I have written about where I think he's broken the law too. So it's not just a conservative or a liberal thing. If you think that President Obama violated his oath, then you have to be aware when a Kentucky county clerk violates her oath. Let me read what the judge, David Bunning, who was a conservative appointed by President George W. Bush. She may continue to attend church twice a week, participate in Bible study, and minister to female inmates at the Rowan County Jail. She is even free to believe that marriage is a union between one man and one woman, as many Americans do. However, her religious convictions cannot excuse her from performing the duties that she took an oath to perform as Rowan County Clerk. Folks, you can't be law and order and then decide not to be law and order when you don't like the result. It's that simple.
All right, and finally tonight, a slightly different topic. Glenn says, after the debate and Kelly's attempt, that's Megyn Kelly, attempt to put Trump down, I have switched to Newsmax and will not return to Fox. As a Tea Party person, I thank you for your availability, and thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Okay, remember, if you want to weigh in on any of these issues we talk about here in the show, be sure to go to newsmaxtv.com/comments. That's newsmaxtv.com/comments. There it is. And let us know what you think. Up next, it's happy time for Yay or Nay. This is the Daily Wrap.